In our continuing series of British foodstuffs that we just can't seem to live without, being here in the US, we are now actually going to talk about drinks.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about 3 types of beverage that are essential. One is definitely essential to keep this one from being a grumpy little so-and-so in this video clip. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Susie.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Welcome to Here and There with Him and Her. Join us as we talk about all things related to our transatlantic journeys.
In today's video, we're going to talk about the 3 British drinks we cannot do without in the US. Non-alcoholic ones, that is.
So this next section is all about drinks, beverages, maybe more specifically. Not to say that we don't drink things over here. I am partial to a bit of an iced tea.
Or the sweet tea, as they call it.
And I have gotten into the whole green tea scene as well over here. But obviously we're British. We have the mugs. We have to talk about tea.
Yes.
And this is something that's very near and beer. Near and
beer. No, these are non-alcoholic drinks that we're... Not that probably makes you think we've been on the alcoholic drink, but we're not. Yes.
Near and dear to this one.
So, getting hold of British tea has not been a problem really since we got here. And in that first week, I think, that we were here, we managed to source a place to get tea from. The problem that we have is I tend to drink an awful lot of tea. And I think it's not enough to cope with the local. I mean, the local supply would be like 50 bags.
I think we need to preface this by saying there are lots of different types of tea.
Oh, yeah.
And we are speaking specifically about black tea.
Black tea. English, what would be called English breakfast tea here.
Right. And there are lots of different brands. I mean, Twinings is a very well-known one across the world, but not his favourite.
Well, I'm open to other teas, but the one that we find that is readily available in bulk and is one that I enjoy is this one. Again,
remember we said bulk.
Yes, it probably stems from my childhood because my dad was a big tea drinker. I didn't really start drinking tea till I got into my 30s. But PG Tips. 1, it had the funny ads with the chimpanzees.
Yes.
2, it used to give away really good cards in the big
and then teaspoons.
Yeah, all kinds of gear. Anyway, and of course, well, if you didn't know, this obviously has an influence on me. And we were just going through too much, so eventually the brains of the operation here.
So you can get PG Tips quite easily in boxes, but as Paul mentioned, this brand, most of these teas, there's Yorkshire tea that's quite readily available here. They come in very small sizes, so you can maybe get, 75, 80 bags is kind of the biggest box that you could buy. And Paul will drink easily 10, 12 cups of tea a day especially when you're teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed to bulk buy, and that is a catering size bag that I managed to find on Amazon. He doesn't go, we probably get, 5 or 6 of those a year?
Yeah, I'd say something like that, yeah.
I don't drink as much tea. I maybe have 2 cups of tea a day, but Paul goes through a lot of tea. It is we are well known for drinking tea.
It sounds a bit worrying, but I start to get a bit jumpy when we get near the bottom of the bag and we need to order a fresh one. So we've always got a supply there.
He has been known to hug the bag as soon as he arrives. He likes the tea that much.
The rations have arrived.
So another drink, this is a cold drink. Now we're transitioning into cold beverages.
Yeah.
Because we don't drink a lot of fizzy drinks, do we?
No.
We don't fizzy drink. Fizzy drink we mean by soda, I think they say.
Yeah. I think the reason for that is the...
Just growing up as well.
The stuff that they put in here instead of sugar into them.
Oh, the high fructose corn syrup.
It doesn't do either of us any good, does it?
It doesn't, no. But also, I know for me personally, it was a treat. Having a fizzy drink was a treat when I was younger. So it's not something that we were used to having every day anyway. But what we were used to are what we call cordials.
Or squashes.
So they're a concentrated form of a drink, and most of them are fruit drinks of some kind. So the one that him likes the most is this. It's called Vimto. And this is the concentrated form. There are
fizzy
versions of this, but you don't like the fizzy version, do you?
It's all right if you're getting it from a chippy. But all right.
Oh, no, it's just because there's fruit on it, and I just wanted to explain kind of what it is. So this is a
mixed fruit
drink.
Yeah.
Again, we do get this on Amazon. You may be able to find it elsewhere, but we get it from Amazon.
Yeah.
And you can see that it has like a mixture of raspberries, and these things are blackcurrants. And you researched this, didn't you?
Blackcurrants were banned in the United States because for potential, there was something that lives on
some pest
that could have been transported in. It would affect one of the major crops. It might have been the blueberry crop. I'm not sure.
Probably.
One of the crops in the US. So it's been banned here as a fruit since 1920, something like that, I think.
So it's something that it's a flavour that you may not even know about because, like you say, it's not readily available. So that's your favourite. You prefer this.
Yeah.
It's kind of and it's a nice sort of fruity taste. And you can dilute. The idea is that you can have it stronger or weaker depending on your taste.
Again, it's from Manchester. It was born in Manchester, and you can have it cold, but it's really nice on a very cold winter's day to have a cheeky hot Vimto. Yeah,
that's definitely his thing. Whereas I don't hate a Vimto. I do quite like Vimto as well. We share that, but I prefer Robinsons. So this happens to be apple and blackcurrant, but there are other fruit varieties. And this is Robinsons. Maybe a completely random fact here, but Robinsons used to be very big at Wimbledon.
It was the Robinsons barley water.
Robinsons barley water was always used as a refreshment at the Wimbledon tennis
and there was
tournaments.
Also advertising based around that as well, wasn't there? Yeah.
But it's the same idea. It is a fruit drink. This happens to be, as I said, apple and blackcurrant. I've had a summer fruits version. They do like a lemon and lime. There's an orange one.
It's the orange one. Is that orange squash was the Robinsons one? I'm not sure, but that was when we were kids. That was
orange squash was a big thing. And if you had school dinners, you'd always get squash as your drink, wouldn't you?
And depending on who was diluting it, depending on how strong the squash would taste, sometimes it was like orange water.
And the thing is that this one is actually available in Publix. So we don't have to get this on Amazon.
No, we can buy that.
But I will just say, as a quick aside, is that growing up, when you talked about orange squash, there are other brands of orange squash, but orange squash has got an ingredient. I believe it's called tartrazine. I could be wrong. Please feel free to give me a comment if I got this the wrong way around. But I have asthma, and it always triggered my asthma. So I would have to have orange squash at a very, very weak dilution. And so I just naturally always have everything else, every other cordial, even if it doesn't have that ingredient, I just naturally have it in a very, very weak state. In fact, you think it's kind of anemic whenever you make my
just
drinks.
Drink the water instead,
So just a little fun fact there.
One last thing I have to say is, once upon a time, I had a very generous student who originally came from Egypt, and apparently this is available throughout that part of the world, throughout the Middle East, as
like a syrup.
Yeah, it's brewed. It's made there under license, but it must have stemmed from when, the empire was out that way.
Yeah,
and it must have caught on as a kind of for people that aren't allowed to drink alcohol as an alternative to fruit flavored drink. So it's a worldwide thing. And
so in putting back those products that we just talked about, we found some more, didn't we, in the pantry?
Yeah, that we forgot to add.
So we thought we'd just tag a little bit on there. So following on from the Robinsons, they do actually come in a little squeezy form. So this would be a super concentrated version of the Robinsons drink. And like the other brands that you can get out here, there's like a Crystal Light and a Mio thing. You would just then squeeze this into some water as a different way of getting it. So obviously this again is something that is not readily available in the shops here, like the bottle version we got into in the Publix anyway. But this one we had to actually get through the British Corner shop. Again, I will leave all of that information at the bottom there. And as you can see, this is a passion fruit and mango variety.
And on one of our trips back to the UK, we brought back squeezy versions of the Vimto as didn't we? We had a few of those, but that didn't last very long. On the tea front, we forgot to mention, Susie does drink, as well as drinking the black tea, you occasionally like a bit of Darjeeling. Yes. And this is Taylor's of Harrogate. These are the people that the Betty's tea shops around Yorkshire. So you like the Darjeeling one, but I think your favourite one is this one, isn't it? This is the let's go the right way up. This is Assam. Taylor's Assam tea, which you like. That's the orangey one, isn't it?
So when I worked for a company before I went into teaching, I don't know, can I mention that?
Oh, you can say Procter and Gamble.
Outside of London, we used to have a cafeteria that you just had all of these different types of tea bags available. So I just went and I tried a whole load of different ones. I'm not a fan of like the Earl Greys. They're a bit perfumey for me. But those two kind of stuck out. My mum was very much a lover of the Darjeeling as well. So I think I got a bit of that from her.
Yeah. One of the things I have to say, being a teacher here, when it comes to teacher appreciation, and I think because I do have a kettle beside my desk at school and I do make myself quantities of tea as I am teaching, because I'm talking a lot, I need to keep my throat wet. A few years back, a student that we both taught bought me some fancy tea, and this was something that I would never have considered before. And this was Fortnum and Mason's tea. Again, ones that have a royal appointment. And this is their smoky Earl Grey tea bags. This is the nicest Earl Grey I've ever had, because I don't normally like Earl Grey. Yeah. And the reason I like this is because it tastes like Talisker single malt Scotch whiskey to me, but without getting drunk. So, this is a really nice, very smoky flavour. And it's the one tea I would say that I can drink without putting milk in. Yeah. So I always keep one of these handy at school in case I run out of milk at school, so I can always pop one of these.
Emergency rations.
Emergency. Break glass in case of emergency.
Which just led me to think, we didn't actually explain that we tend to put milk in our tea.
Of course, yeah.
And I have a bit of sugar in my tea, but it's over here, they don't seem to, just as a practice, put milk in the tea. And they might ask if you want lemon or honey, but we just do put milk. For us, oat milk, again, for me. I just want to explain, Fortnum & Mason is a department store, and it's kind of a very posh one, up there with like Harrods.
Yes, but it's mostly food. It's all food, is the food. Thing, yeah.
So if you are very lucky, you would get like a hamper as a big gift, wouldn't you, of different Fortnum & Mason things. Products, so definitely special.
Well, that brings our video on the 3 British drinks, non-alcoholic drinks that we can't do without in the US to an end. We hope you enjoyed it.
Please make sure that you give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe to our videos. Let us know if we're creating content that you enjoy. Drop us a line in the comment section. Let us know. I mean, are you expats like us? Are there essential British things that you just have to have that get you through living over here or remind you of being back home? Mm-hmm. Or if you are of another nation and you're interested in these foods and you have any questions, again, please drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you.
So we're off for another cup of tea and a cheeky biscuit, and we hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.
Cheers.